The sky is falling!
There's more rain on the screen right now than we got in downtown Dallas tonight. That doesn't mean that those severe storms didn't hit big swaths of the Metroplex. They just missed the American Airlines Center. The clouds are following the Stars fans tonight, however, as Dallas loses Game 5, 4-2, falling behind in the best-of-7 first-round series, 3-2 to the Wild with Game 6 on Thursday night. This is the DLLS Stars post-game show. Let's break it down and try to keep you all on the ledge or inside the building.
All right, here we go. Everybody shut the fuck up.
The DLLS Stars postgame show is powered by Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly, 21 and over. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. And welcome everybody to the DLLS Stars postgame show alongside Craig Ludwig, our producer Ryan Vaughters. I'm Owen Newkirk. Stars lose tonight 4-2 in Game 5. They now have fallen behind for the second time in the series after going behind 1-0. Now they're trailing 3-2 and will face a potential elimination game on Thursday night in St. Paul. Time still TBD. We'll find out probably after the Anaheim-Edmonton game wraps up later tonight, which is currently ongoing. Before we get into the full breakdown and conversation of this postgame show tonight, do not forget that the DLS Die Hard NHL playoff sale is going on right now. I forgot to mention it in the pregame at the top, but that's okay. We're here in the postgame now. And for a very limited time, while the playoffs are still going on, the Stars DLLS Die Hard discount, look at that, $32 instead of the usual $79.99 annual rate. You can get a free t-shirt of your choice, with the only exception being the Nothing Else Matters playoff DLS Stars shirt, which is a fantastic looking shirt. You can get that with, if you sign up to be a Die Hard with this deal, get a different one, maybe the Finnish Mafia shirt. And then you get 20% off all merch. You can get the Nothing Else Matters shirt with a discount, along with everything else that comes with being a diehard. So grab those out and help support DLLS and the Stars show. We always appreciate it. All right, Luds. Well, we're hoping for good things. I piled in the last two shows, yesterday and then today.
I was going to lead with that.
Probabilities.
Are you talking?
Probabilities. No, we didn't even talk about this.
All that time,
all those
that
numbers
you spent on saying when Dallas wins, they're 80-some%, and when Minnesota loses, they're this and that. That's what I was thinking about, is all that time you spent, and here we are.
Well, here we are, because...
Do you have anything for when they're down a game going in?
I do. If you remember that graphic, and I don't know if Ryan can pull it up quickly enough, it drops from...
I'm talking about...
Look at this. If they trail, see at the bottom, 3-19, 13.6%. So it does happen. In fact, Luds, you...
Well, now hang on.
You were part of it.
Wait a second. Is that they win the next game or they win the series?
Win the series.
Okay.
So you probably remember, well, you might remember playing the Colorado Avalanche during the 99 Western Conference Final.
Down, and Eddie came back and stood on his head the next game.
Won Game 6.
Yeah.
And then the Mike Keane game, Game 7.
Yeah. What a beautiful goal.
So there is history of the Stars doing that, but boy, you're up against it. Maybe we should talk about this more on our show tomorrow, but when you fall behind like that and you have, go to the shirt. Nothing else matters. The Stars have to win Game 6 or none of it matters.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could say they're on life support, going into,
I would think so,
going into Game 6. But again, we've seen these guys come back, and we've seen losing streaks, and all of a sudden when you don't think they win, they pull something out. But, I think of the top guys, starting with number 96, 53. I'm going to leave 21 out of this because all he does is scores goals. But the top guys got to start doing something. And, of course, I'm going to say 5-on-5. We already know that whole story. But
we're going to have to talk about it, though.
Yeah, I'm sure we are. But, yeah.
I mean, we have to, right?
Yeah.
Let's get to that right now.
Okay.
Because we talked about this since game 4. A 5-on-5 goal in that game up in Minnesota.
But wait, there was an even strength goal. Can we
talk?
Well,
we can talk about an even strength goal for sure, but you're and they did have 5 skaters on the ice.
Yeah. Well,
but they weren't 5 skaters.
It's considered a 4-on-4 goal, right?
It was even strength.
Yeah.
But not a 5-on-5 goal. Yeah.
Now,
but we talked about this the last 2 days.
They had 16 shots 5-on-5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is compared to other games. I did think there were a couple times, and sometimes you got to give credit to the other team, right? I mean, but my problem is, whether it was power play or 5-on-5, there were some shots from distance that what bothers me is you get somebody at the front of the net and you think that you have, and again, there was one in particular, it was Matt Duchene near the end. And generally what you want to do is when you're setting up in front of a goaltender, you want to kind of peek over your shoulder so you can tell if you're bothering the goaltender, because you'll see his head looking this way.
Yep.
And where Matt was, and I can't remember who took the shot, but Matt was off to the right side of Valstead. So he wasn't right in front of him, and the shot was coming from that side. And so if Matt checks over his shoulder, maybe he gets his helmet in his eyes, and he does him. But the problem that I have is when the shot is taken, it seems like all the skilled guys step to the side and try to tap the puck, right?
The chat's getting a little
the fourth
testy
line,
already.
third and fourth line guys, they stand there and they take the eyes away and they get hit by it. So I think Wyatt can do it because he can tip pucks. Robo can tip pucks. But if you do that all the time, now all of a sudden you're just kind of helping the goaltender. So
couple of things. Stars never led in this game. That definitely makes it more of a challenge. They trailed, chasing, and they had a good challenge. We'll get into that. But the one that really stands out to me, well, 2 things actually. One is with Zuccarello back, not only did he score, but they got a power play goal, something that the Wild have struggled with in this series, except for game 1, where they got 2 out of 4 opportunities. And they got a depth goal. And we've seen how important that is. Michael McCarron scored his 2nd of the series. That was a backbreaker. It turned out to be the game winner. And you go back to game 4, that Marcus Foligno goal tied it in the 3rd period. They don't get that. The Stars are up 3-1. We're maybe having a different conversation. The margins, to me, still remain extremely thin. And can the Stars go up to St. Paul and win a game? Of course they can.
Yep.
It's really close. But a lot of Stars fans will sit this and go, you had a chance to win a game on home ice, to take a 3-2 lead, put all the pressure on Minnesota, and kind of go into game 6 going, you can go win it. You lose, the worst case scenario, you're back in Dallas for a game 7. And I can't help but think about, and this might be testing your memory, but 2016. Stars were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. They played the St. Louis Blues. I believe game 5, tied at 2, was an afternoon game in Dallas, and the Stars were awful. Lost the game, and then you're trailing. They go to St. Louis. Kari Lehtinen stood on his head, kind of a no-pressure game in a way for him, and forces a game 7. They come back to Dallas, and I'm sure you remember that first period of 2016 where they gave up 3 goals, Kari did, and the Stars, in the first period, and it was all over, and the Blues ended up winning that game 7.
I don't remember, but it sounds awful.
I
do not remember.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. So there were times in this game where it felt like the Stars were trying, Luds, to get to the net, trying to create more, trying to do the things that we've said that they haven't been good enough at. Their power play got a goal, which seems automatic.
That's normal.
Right?
Yep.
What did you see? Now, we're going to do the goal breakdowns and other stuff, but did you see anything from the team as far as trying
I think you summed it up really well. They were trying to get there. And, the Wild are positionally correct, and it becomes difficult to get there. And again, it's a mindset, and that you have to be there. I just think sometimes that they're trying to arrive there as the shot's arriving there. So if you're making a pass from center to left wing or right side to left side, after you make that pass is when you make a beeline to the front of the net. And you don't kind of wait to see because what's happening is from a team that passes a lot and they can pass it into the net all season long, is once you make that pass, you stand there and you wait and you wonder if you're getting it back or where's it going next, instead of having the mindset of moved it over here. I'm talking about when you're below the tops of the circles. And if it's Maverick Bork that's moving it to, let's say, Jamie Benn over on the left-hand side, Maverick, make a beeline. Don't stay out here and wait and start opening up your legs and your feet and you start to coast. You're waiting for a return pass. Then you go, oh, there's not going to be a return pass.
Yep.
So now I'm going to try to get to the front of the net. Well, now you just gave them time to get there. They set up shop and you're on the outside looking in.
When you look at the other big storyline of tonight's game, besides the 5-on-5 play, was for the Stars losing Nils Lundqvist to injury in Game 4, skate to the cheek. He might play later in the series. We don't know. In comes Ilya Lyubushkin. Tyler Myers goes and plays with Harley. Lyubushkin with Bischel. What did you think about the Stars' defense tonight?
I was fine with Lyubushkin. There were a couple instances with Myers, and I think sometimes from Tyler it may be over try. And I think one of my things was if he's going to play with Thomas Harley, he might get caught up in the way Thomas Harley wants to play. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it came back to bite him. I mean, we're going to look at the McCarron goal, and again, that's not going to be on Myers. And I think some people will probably think about the first, I believe it was the first goal. That was Zuccarello goal. There was one that Myers had, and it looks like he was passing it to Harley, but he wasn't. It may look that way, and it ends up being a chance or whatever it was. But the puck was actually being hard off the wall out to it was Rantanen sending outside the blue line. But it was a play that they're just trying to go long, but it was an awful angle to get it out there. But so to answer your question, I'm not pinning this on just defensemen tonight. It wasn't a bad game. It wasn't excellent, but you're not going to sit there and rip this team apart. Now, first off, this isn't the time that you do that.
No.
So,
but the folks watching in the chat right now sure seem to want to rip them apart.
Well, who are they ripping? Anybody in particular?
I believe Tyler Myers' hatred here is very front of mind. Anybody else, guys, watching the chat, if you want to chime in, who are you hating on tonight besides Tyler Myers? And I'm not laughing at it. It's just kind of sardonic in a funny way. Waiting to see these responses because right now, there's an otter in there from Seth. Everybody says that Robert said Robo, Dutchy, and Miro have all shown up. People are a little upset about Mikko Rantanen too. You think?
Don't be upset though. Yes. But I do think there's something going on with it. I've been saying this for a long time now.
Getting mentioned as well.
Yeah. That one worked out okay though. That one.
Harley, Ben Myers. I missed Stankoven and Mush. Boy, they're really popping off
now. The trades were bad.
Look at that go. Oh, there's a lot of Myers and Harley. Some Wyatts in there. Yeah.
Oh,
there's a Sam. Yeah, definitely blame Sam. Yeah, as in R.I.P. Sam.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Poor Sam.
Not Sam Steele, Nestler in this case. Did you think...
Well, wait a second. How much have you seen Sam Steele out there? Oh, come on.
Not a lot. I noticed him a couple times in arena on the TV broadcast. You don't see it as much.
What do you mean on the jumbotron sitting on the bench?
No, from the press box. There were a couple times where
he doesn't look like the same guy we saw.
He's not.
Well, we know that he had something, groin or whatever it may be, hip flexor. I don't know, but he's not as noticeable. Yep. Now I don't know. Did Colin Blackwell play tonight?
That's a tough one because I didn't see a lot of Blackwell.
No, I'm asking a serious question. Yep. Did he?
Yeah.
Because I didn't see him once.
He ended up with 8 minutes and 37 seconds. And that's another thing we talk about the forwards is Arttu Huru. I didn't see what happened. I didn't notice an injury. Honestly, I didn't know he wasn't in the game until, because I had noticed him early. He looked good like he normally has been playing. And then all of a sudden we get an email from Stars PR saying he's out with a lower body injury, will not return for the rest of the game. And you're going, uh-oh. And nobody that we talked to up in the press box could come up with it was that we saw him take this hit and go out. Or
that's what I was saying to you. When those kind of things happen and you don't notice anything, you didn't get hit, all of a sudden he leaves, he's not coming back. Generally, there's something like a groin, like something that just pops on you, and you do the same thing you always do, and it just happens, and you kind of skate off, and it's done.
You'll love this one. I'm calling out our Owen for all his charts and stats.
Yeah.
They're going after me. No, look, don't hate the history, hate the performance. Did you think it was a good enough performance by the Dallas Stars tonight?
Obviously not.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
Sometimes you say, well, you play, like you hear this a lot during the regular season. I know that the result matters in the playoffs more than that style does. But in the regular season, you many times will hear, boy, we play like that, we're going to win a lot of hockey games. Did you feel like that was proper
I agree with that too. we haven't seen as much out of Ristkovian.
No.
Here's the way I feel. I feel that some of those guys, and we can use Risty for an example, I think they're playing not to take a penalty. Like, I feel like they're not as effective if they're trying to stay out of the penalty box. And because it just comes with the territory. I mean, you can still play that game, and you did it all year long, and not like you took dumb penalties. So I just feel that, and I understand it, because you don't want to be out there in the playoffs, and hopefully they don't go into Minnesota that way, and playing not to put the other team on the power play, because they're not as effective that way, especially the third and fourth line guys.
Boy, they're hot in chat right now. Just hot. And I understand. Look, you have a team that is very good. You're playing a team that's very good.
Well, they're very good in 82 games.
Sure.
In the first 82. It's totally different in the playoffs. Like, we've seen that. This is a good team, though, they're playing. Everybody expected this out of these two teams.
Yes.
And they expected to go 7, and very possibly can go 7. And then maybe that's the good thing. Like, right now Dallas goes into this game, thinking, and there will be a point in the game, hopefully they won't have to, but they're going to have to, press the button a little bit more.
Panic button?
Well, not the panic button.
What you need to do is to try to play with the lead, because look, I know it sounds really obvious, but you don't, when you're facing elimination, you don't want to be chasing then. It's bad enough to do it in a 2-2 game 5, but what happened the other night in St. Paul? You get the lead, you take the crowd out of it a little bit, you force the Wild to come out of their shell and come at them. You can hit them on counterattacks. That's a lot better. Sounds good to me. Where do I sign up? How do you get the lead in Minnesota?
Well, and sometimes it
easy to do, right?
It takes a guy to kind of give himself up, and accidentally on purpose. And who's been their backbone of the team? I mean, you could probably say Boldy, but for the first one, it's the goaltender.
Were you surprised that Jamie Benn only got 2 minutes there late in the third period when he hit Hartman with that cross check? It looked like he caught him up in the head on the second one.
Yeah. But
they're going to let it go.
How did Jamie get cut? Was it from the visor?
No, it looked like Hartman maybe caught him with some part of the upper part of the shaft of the stick, or maybe his butt end or something. It wasn't the I know, you like that one too.
He either got him with the shaft or his butt end.
what other term?
Okay.
Well, he didn't get him with the blade.
That's a good time to wrap up and go to a commercial break.
But all right, we'll talk about more of that. Breakdown coming up next. It's What the Puck, your favorite segment or two. We have a lot to break down next here on DLS. Hey, everybody. Mother's Day is coming up very rapidly. In fact, it's going to be here before you know it. What a time to make a change and upgrade from the usual Mother's Day flowers. Nothing wrong with flowers. Very nice. However, think about an Aura frame. I've actually done this at Christmas time last year, and what a gift. I bought my mom an Aura frame after we got one for our house, and we love it. Digital photos in a beautiful frame. You can work it on your phone. It's super easy. And here's a really cool thing about gifting it. You can upload photos to the Aura frame from your phone app with Aura before you even send it. So when they open it, hook it up, there's photos already preloaded on there. Plus, you can do it anytime, any year. Super easy. Make Mother's Day special with Aura frames. Named #1 by Wirecutter. You can save on the gifts mom love by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $25 off their best-selling Carver matte frames with code DLLS.
With summer coming up in just a couple months, maybe you've been thinking about getting into a little bit better shape. The problem is your body doesn't just snap back like it used to when you're in your 20s. You're eating most of the same stuff, but the fat around your stomach, it just kind of sticks around. A lot of people think the classic dad bod just comes from drinking more beer and eating worse. As men get older, our bodies reprogram themselves. Most men's testosterone levels start dropping as early as your 30s. And here's the frustrating part. The more body fat you gain, the more your body actually converts testosterone into estrogen, which makes it even easier to gain more fat. You bring on this, Marsmen. Marsmen is a natural supplement designed to support healthy testosterone levels, which can help your body burn more fat efficiently and quicker. 90-day money-back guaranteed, so there's no risk. Worst case, you don't absolutely love it, you get your money back. For a limited time, our listeners can get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts. Go to marsmen.com and get 50% off and get your 3 gifts.
All right, folks. I know you're fired up. I don't know if we're here to try to talk you off the ledge tonight, calm things down and do a little therapy session, or if we're just going to add kindling to the fire. Luds, maybe you get a couple of dry pine cones and just throw it on the fire, get it to blaze right up. It's time for What the Puck. So let's get to it. First goal tonight. Of course, it's the guy that missed 3 games of the series. Mats Zuccarello back injured in game 1. In fact, he didn't have, according to the Wild and the Wild media, Zuccarello didn't show concussion symptoms until morning skate ahead of game 2. And that was a surprise to all of us, only because we saw him skating with his normal line rushes game 2, which was this past Monday. And he looked fine, right? Excuse me. And then, of course, we found out going into game 2, he didn't play. Well, he missed games 2, 3, and 4. Back tonight, and Luds, he scores the first goal.
Didn't take him long to get back into the game.
Not.
You know, on this one here, this is the play I was talking about. So this is the Zuki goal. This is not, because it looked like a missile. From here, it looks like he's trying to give it to Thomas Harley. All right. And then I found an angle that he's not.
He's just trying to rim that, right?
He's trying, well, but he can't. He can't rim it, first off, because he's a righty.
Yep.
So he's in a bad spot to rim it. But go back one, Ryan, sorry. But what he's trying to do, he's trying to go off the wall in an angle to come out here, I believe, to get it out to Mikko, is what he's trying to do. And it really did look like he just sent a missile at Harley, but it wasn't. Well, ultimately, it doesn't even make it out of the zone. So, and that's where everything starts.
It was a good play by Hartman to keep the puck in.
Yeah, and now both of these guys, Harley and Myers, kind of get focused, and I don't think they really knew who was going with who and to who and everything else. But right here, I believe Harley thinks that Myers is going to stay and go over to the other side of the ice. So then Thomas should probably stay with the guy that he's closest to. Now, I don't know if Myers is known, but the next thing you know, now Harley takes off, Myers takes off, and that's what leaves Zuccarello over here.
And Jake made a great save on Kaprizov on the first shot. On the initial.
Yeah, on the initial shot.
He made a great, one-on-one point blank.
But here, that play right there,
yep.
This is Kaprizov. Yep. He's trying to shoot this puck at the net.
You don't think that was an intentional
I know
pass?
what it did. It hit his stick.
Oh, it did?
No.
Oh,
he's trying to shoot it to the net, and it hits Harley's stick, and then it bounces over to Zuccarello. So it's a bit, lucky play. Yes, both these guys are staring at the puck, but that was a shot attempt, and it was a fortunate bounce that lands on the tape of his buddy, his PP,
and he's not going to miss
power play buddy. Catch that.
Here we go again.
Power play buddy. And there you go. He's in the board in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the hockey game. Well, that we didn't see because
you guys were having issues here.
Channel we couldn't get on. We couldn't get it on.
I heard that was part of
and
the
that reason. But to be fair, it wasn't because of the TV. Now that I think about it,
I would like to let everybody know that you should sign up to be a supporters club membership because I'm anticipating another Craig Ludwig ad read.
I don't know if
outtake, outreel, gag reel coming soon.
Well, the problem was in the Marsmen that I butchered, even the one that he put on.
Which you'll hear later.
But no, we
just read it.
Yeah, it was
you
good.
Just heard it. Okay.
And it was awful too. But there was a line in there that says "Dad's bod," B-O-D, a dad bod.
Dad bod. Yeah.
I could not stop saying "Dad's Bob," and I said it about 7 times every time, and we had to keep doing it over, so I couldn't. Anyway, so let's get on to the next
hear the
cluster.
outtakes. I bet you they're phenomenal. So, Luds, Zuccarello scored, made it 1-0 in favor of the Wild. Early goal, quiets the crowd. But then you get the penalty. Bobby Brink called for slashing at 8:16, and it took less than a minute for the Stars' high-powered power play to do it again. They've scored a power play goal now in every game of this series.
Brink gets into the lineup. And you could just tell by the look on his face. It was the walk of shame to the box because he knew, oh man, the only thing we can't do is put this team on the power play, and unfortunately they do. But the good news is, here's the whole deal: is Minnesota's in the proper spot on the ice, but as this puck moves back over here to Robo, everybody's attention is on Robo, as it should be. But what happens is, as he slides this across here to Miro for this shot, which is a great shot. This was the one save that Volstead should have made tonight. I mean, for sure. But what happens is when it comes over here to Robo, who's dangerous, these two guys, they move out of the middle of the ice because they're worried about Robo. And then there's a clear lane to the net. Volstead sees this shot Clearly, I thought for a second here Wyatt was in his view, but he wasn't, and you can see right here just from the puck.
Did you happen to watch the replay that they showed from that angle, the one that you just saw behind the net?
Yep.
Because when Robo
skates in front of you,
caught it, so Duchesne makes the pass to Robertson across the seam, right, the center line. Wallstedt is reacting, and he's going still to his right. Robo, because he one touches it back to Miro. The two open up the lane, but he's still loading up to push the goalie is back to his left. By the time that shot comes through, he never got set.
He was standing straight up. No,
he was
watching.
He was coming across.
There's a clip, the one we had from behind. He's standing up. He just misses it. He goes down and he misses it right here.
He's still moving. He never established himself on that shot by Miro. I'll show you afterwards.
So you're saying that was a great shot?
No, I'm saying it was a good, because the pass went across that center line twice. Duchesne to Robo, then the quick back to Miro, and the goalie's just sitting there going side to side.
But they weren't one-touch hard passes. I mean, to me, he saw it, and you can even see his reaction. His reaction is like, and he kind of does this.
Yeah, I mean, he missed it under the glove for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. So it's Miro gets...
But Miro's been hot.
Miro had gone 20 games without a goal. Now he's got goals in consecutive playoff games. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and he's shooting the puck.
A couple other times, too.
As soon as we get rid of Spotter, we start shooting the puck.
We did a little... Well, yeah. His Spotter won tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in overtime. But we'll get to that later. So it's 1-1 at the end of one period of play, but Leds, there were some chances I wanted to touch on real quick. Quinn Hughes, backhander, top left of the crease. Otter made a really good save there. Robo had a 2-on-2 rush, forced a really good chance. Wallstedt came up. It's one where Wyatt backed into both defensemen, and Robo kind of used them as a screen and got, I thought, a good chance, but the goalie made that save. And then we have the power play that led to a goal and a challenge and an overturn call.
I sat there with Ryan, and I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do here. I couldn't lean one way or another. But, and again, all Boldy's doing is he's trying to get to a rebound.
Yep.
And does he fall? He leans forward. Yes. Does he take his stick and push it on Jake's right pad?
He does.
Absolutely. He's going for the puck, right? But here, near the end, here's my question. If you stop this right here, Ryan. So if that all takes place and he still pushes Jake's pad, but an opposing player puts it in the net, would it be called that?
You mean
if
you're saying if a star scored on themselves?
Is the initial call of goalie interference go away, or does it stay there?
I'm not totally sure.
Because here's what happens.
I get what you're saying.
Miro actually puts this puck in.
Off of Boldy's leg, right?
Yeah.
Because he's trying to clear it.
He shoots it back, or I don't know what Miro was trying to do, but it ultimately hits Boldy in the knee.
Yep.
And then goes in the net.
Yep.
Is it? I mean, obviously it is. That's what the rule is. I mean, they called it back.
I'm
going, well, wait a second. Boldy didn't really put it in, but Boldy is the one that created the interference.
And if you look at the way Jake had his pad sealing the ice before the stick came in.
Well, let's keep that in mind about sealing the ice.
I know where you're going with that. I think he makes that save if the stick doesn't come in and push and lift up.
I agree with
drive him back in.
I agree.
So I think that's why they called it. He's clearly in the paint.
I was just curious, like if somebody else shoots from the opposing team, puts it in the net, even though it goes off another player. And I don't know if they even saw that. I'm not sure if
I can answer that, just because there's so many times where goalie interference where we just don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But I honestly, when I saw this, I said to myself, I think there's a legit chance this gets overturned because the stick gets into the pad.
Yeah.
It's one thing if he takes the shot and it's trickling in.
But you didn't know that the puck was shot by Miro.
Not until I saw the replay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you ask Dave Jackson, he's going to say, "Oh no, that was the right call."
Always supports his guys in stripes, right?
Yep.
So that goal
does. Right, so there it is.
I mean, that was a big one, Lutz. There were 12.9 seconds left in the first period. It felt like a big overturn because that would have been that power play goal that Minnesota hadn't scored in the last few games, or not enough of, and it would have been 2-1 late in the period. Remember that, because we're going to get back to that a little bit later. So now you go to the second period, and oh boy, Robo had a shot from the top of the right circle. Wallstedt made the save. The puck is loose in front of the net, and it looked like Maverick Bourque was there for the rebound. But when you watch the replay, Matt Duchesne, I don't know if he dives for it or gets tripped and falls down, but he swings his stick and chops at it. And Wallstedt, who over pursued that Robo shot and slid out of the net, sticks out his right leg. And I'll tell you, Luds, I think he's probably happy he's a young goalie and not an aging goalie, because that was incredibly flexible and nimble, because he gets a toe on that. Otherwise, Duchesne scores and the Stars would have had the lead. Big play.
But he didn't.
But he didn't. Volstead, I circled that one. That's a huge reaction save. He could have, that was the second time.
That's why you get things around the front of the net in the first period and you accidentally, on purpose.
Well, yes.
I don't know. Maybe you fall on top of him or something.
Well, again, they got him out of his crease on the power play goal, moving side to side. This happened again. This time he makes the save. They had another look. Robo had a pretty good look on the power play, and then Wyatt had a rebound that he shot over the net. I think it took a deflection, or did he miss it wide?
Missed it wide.
But was there a stick, or did he just
I think it was kind of bouncing on him.
He then had another one where Harley had it set up for a really good one-timer. Volstead made the save. Wyatt backhander at the crease where he tried to toe drag it to his back end. He missed wide. That was a good look. But again, a lot of closes, right?
Yep.
Not enough in. Then you've got the Wild starting to push. Eriksson Ek had a chance on the power play. He had another couple of opportunities. Matt Boldy late in the period. Power play goal. This one comes with 32 seconds remaining in the period. Break this one down for us.
Yeah. I was kind of going back and forth on this one. And I'm speaking of Jake being able to see it or not. I don't know. But here's my big pet peeve again. We're back to the offside forward covering someone that's not even really in the play. Would it make a big difference? Maybe, because there's just so much open ice here in the middle of the ice, and you'll see what happens after this. But I don't get why we have to play so far over. Even the guy that he's covering is a left shot. So it's not like there's any one-timer over here. Yeah. But this is what happens when you want to worry about that backside.
And S is not usually that high up on the ice when he's playing.
Yeah, there must be something they're trying to change, or they see something. I'm not sure. The problem is if you've got the Zuccarello dude back in here, and if he does get the puck down lower on the half wall, he's pretty damn good at it. So anyway, here's where the shot comes from. Here's where Essa is. And from here, so for me, I think Jake can see this because Boldy's a left shot. It's to the middle of the ice. Jake is set up. I believe there's nobody else there.
It didn't look like there was any screening.
No, and see what happens is you will see that Jake reacts to this puck. So maybe he just picked it up late. I don't know. It doesn't hit Essa's stick at all. And you can see right here, Jake is reacting to the shot. So he picks it up somewhere. I don't know where. So it's not like he completely couldn't see it, and I just wanted to see if it, hit any other sticks, and it doesn't. But even from this angle here now, again, that's not fair either because it's off to the right.
Yeah,
but
you can't really see.
Yeah, it'd be hard to say. I don't know if Essa's right ass cheek is in the way that he can't see it, or his hip, or whatever it is. I don't know.
I think it's ass cheek. Let's go with ass cheek.
Okay, and here he's going to make sure he gets a little bit in there. But again, Jake, this is okay. What I was looking at there. Go back one more, Ryan. Where my laser beam is, he picks the puck up here. He's looking at it.
Yeah.
So he sees it here, and then he's trying to he can't catch up to it there. So anyways, I don't know if he was able to track it all the way in, so I guess we'll have to ask Jake about that one.
Well, that's a tough one for me, because I'm sitting here going from that distance without again, like you said, you're not sure if there's a screen or not. It didn't look like
with nobody planted in front of you.
It feels like your goalie should make that save, but it's also tucked inside of the far post in it. Is that a great player and a great shot, or also, you should still have that?
Well, there's no question he's a great player and he has a great shot, but it's not like he's shooting that from the hash mark area.
Right.
He's just below the tops of the circles.
So that makes it a power play goal, 2-1 Wild lead.
We're getting the toilet bowl sign.
Yeah, we have, we've been talking about butt cheeks and rectums all night.
Oh, so then why not just go to the toilet bowl?
Well, let's get to some more breakdowns after the break here on the DLS Stars postgame show.
Hey, Stars fan. The beards are growing, the stakes are rising, and the energy is unmatched. The Stanley Cup playoffs and Bud Light, well, it's here. It's time. Whether you're keeping the tradition alive with a playoff beard or you're just there for, a couple overtimes, which we've already had, a heart stopper it was, Bud Light is the official beer of the NHL. Right here. There's only a little bit left in this one. And whether you're tailgating in the parking lot, or you're just sitting on the couch, or you're sitting in the studio here having a few Bud Lights, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light, turns a win into a 1-win. We're celebrating the love of the game from the first puck drop to the final handshake with a Bud Light. Because great hockey and cold Bud Light, that's an easy win. A win just isn't a win without the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Bud Light, it's easy to drink, easy to enjoy, but remember, enjoy it responsibly. 21 and over. Remember, kids, 21 and over. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You can predict the playoff action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. All you have to do is sign up to get your $25 bonus. Follow all the playoff dishes, swishes, wishes, and misses, and every move is a potential plot twist. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs what they are. Where one run, one rebound, one shot, one goal changes everything. From the opening face-off or the opening tip to the final buzzer, stay locked in with every pass, every play, and every moment that moves us closer to crowning a champion. Sign up now for your $25 bonus on FanDuel Predicts. Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18 and over. Bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with our consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at fanduel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms. Gully.
So, Luds, what are you sick from? Well, just a little bit of a skunky beer. Oh, hey, we're back.
We got some angry people on Twitter, too. It's not just on the Stars DLS post-game show chat, although definitely some of that. All right, Luds, continuing our breakdown of What the Puck. I had to circle this one because it was a really bizarre moment for a couple of reasons. First, Boldy scores the power play goal. Minnesota takes a 2-1 lead. There's 30 seconds left in the second period. Then with 1.4...
That should be enough to get out, you're saying? Unscathed?
You would say that's enough.
Yeah.
It was almost 3-1 after the second period. With 1.4 seconds left, Brock Faber threw a shot from the top of the left circle that Otter, I felt like maybe it's harsh to say he made a meal of it. He didn't control the rebound, but there may have been a traffic or tip or something I didn't see. But it falls to Ryan Hartman wide open at the backside, and Jake makes a diving, sensational save to keep it a 2-1 game. What I found particularly humorous of this, and I know it's hard to laugh after a loss in Game 5, is that Jake left the ice, Gully left the bench, Jamie Benn left, half the team left, and then the referee said, no. When he made that save, there's 1.4 seconds. And so we actually got a camera shot on the Jumbotron of Jake, Ben, Jamie Benn, and Glenn Gulletson running back
down
up the tunnel to come back on the ice to drop a puck.
Well, they had it on Victory.
Oh, you saw?
Oh, yeah. I saw it.
So great save.
Victory catches everything.
Great save by Otter there on Hartman, because Hartman buries that. Might have been game over right then and there. Yeah. Instead, we go to the third, and I didn't see what happened, but Jonas Brodin, we saw him hobbling in obvious pain midway through the third period on the Wild bench, and they announced very quickly that he would not return to the game.
Well, he was hobbling prior to that. He actually was kind of moving around on the bench. The trainer came over, and then he hung around a little bit. Then he got up and took off, which would be a tough loss for them. I mean, that's a top 4 guy that they generally would like to have him against, top lines on the other side. So that's what happens in the playoffs. So
Michael Russo tweeted out that John Hines did not have an update on Jonas Brodin, but apparently all the media saw Brodin heading to the team bus on crutches. Usually not a good sign.
Nope.
So third period, and Luds, our next breakdown, this one's the one that was clearly the dagger. It ended up being the game-winning goal.
You know that thing about Brodin? That because, again, guys like Bogosian, Middlestad are going to have to play a little bit more.
Has that trickle-down effect.
Yeah, but that's not how it works over there. They just play Hughes in favor more.
So the bottom guys don't move up.
They're still going to play their same 8-10 minutes. The other 2 guys are just going to...
And they can do it, too.
Especially in a closeout game. If there's a closeout game, you'll see a lot of that.
I mean, assuming that Brodin can't play because he's on crutches leaving Game 5 2 days from now, I'm guessing that you probably see Damon Hunt it'll probably be Jeff Petrie comes in.
Yeah, Petrie was in for Bogosian when the series started.
That's right.
I believe, right?
Yep. And Bogosian played, but he was filling in
I thought Bogosian was out.
No, he just wasn't playing.
Was it the next game?
It was in the practice leading up to the game. Bogosian's played them all, but then he had, like, even today, Bogosian didn't go on the ice for the optional skate. He was down in the hallway just doing stuff. He's sort of stayed off the ice as much as he could. And so then you think, okay, well, Spurgeon, maybe he goes to his left and Petrie comes in, but it's not ideal for them at all.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Michael McCarron, lads, 7:47 into the third period.
Michael McCarron.
He might be the size of a 7:47, but he scored a massive goal in the third.
I just said, who's this Michael McCarron? I mean, he's 6'5", 6'.
Played on Nashville for years.
Big guy, doesn't skate like, skate like the wind. And here's another one he pulls off. Now, what happens, puck attraction, it's hard to see the little zoom things that are wherever you call the laser beams, but now this is not Myers. Myers is stepping out on this particular play. I want you to keep an eye on Maverick Bourque here. You've got to be able to take a look over your shoulder. Everybody's coming back, and everybody's attracted and staring at that puck. Wyatt tries to pick up somebody here, but it's the wrong guy. He's got to pick up McCarron. McCarron comes in, and listen, you're going to see it in the next shot here. This was, I mean, there's nothing here, right? I mean, Jake's got everything closed off. He sees it. It's McCarron. He's coming in literally like a slow semi, right? He's not blazing here. There's actually nothing open here. And then he gets another foot closer, and then there's still nothing open. There's nothing. There's nothing here. And he doesn't even move much, has he? Right?
Oh,
now look at the next one. Yeah.
It's like a reaction to the poke check.
All of a sudden, well, why would you be poke checking? Why does your left leg come up in the air when you're poke checking? And then the hole gets a little bit bigger, and then ultimately,
I've only put the goalie pads on once.
Now, you think that's because of the poke check too?
And I feel like I flopped around on the ice like a beach whale.
Yeah, I
obviously world-class goalie. I can't answer this, so it'd be something that you'd have to ask him or Sean, RIP Sean. And Lud's 3-1, 2-goal lead. That one felt monumental, and it turned out to be because that would be the game winner. Now that we've got 2 more goals to talk about, but again, McCarron scores an important goal. He did it once before in this series. That's his second, and both times they felt like they were of major consequence.
What was the time in the third period when that goal went in?
When McCarron did?
How much time was left?
There was 12 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah, so it's not...
It's early.
Yeah.
But then the Stars didn't score a goal for about 9 minutes of game action after that. And I remember thinking, because there was Middleton was called for tripping at 8:43, so just under a minute after the goal. You said, okay.
Which I don't think that was tripping. No defenseman is ever going to believe
Miro
that.
Heiskanen, right?
You're just going down to block the shot, and then somebody trips over you. So, but anyway, they get their chance.
So they get a power play, and it didn't look so great. No scoring chances created. That was, honestly, it felt like that was a big moment because, okay, you gave up the goal. If you get one on the power play, now it's 3-2. At worst case, you're pulling the goalie at the end of the game down 1.
You can double check this and see if I'm right. But when you're in a critical situation, and through the night, I mean, it's the same thing. But Minnesota, on their power play, I believe had 12 shots on their power plays. Dallas right tonight, Minnesota scored 1. Had 12 shots.
They had 12, yep.
Dallas scored 1. And
4.
You go ahead and tell them how many
4
shots.
4 shots.
Like, I don't understand that. 4 shots.
Yeah.
Like, and again, you're talking about a power play near that time of the game. Get pucks up to the net. I mean, 4 shots. I know that there's a team that can slice and dice and they can, carve people up. But, man, it's urgent. You got to get some pucks up there.
Well, they had a couple power plays Minnesota did in the second period where they had 8 scoring chances. The 8th was they had 5 on the first one, didn't score, and then they had 3 on the second, including Boldy's power play goal.
Yeah,
volume.
Again, but it breaks down your coverage.
Yes,
I mean if you're killing that, and there's a bunch of volume shots, and the puck's laying all over the place. There's loose pucks, and you got that extra guy out there.
I honestly want to give. I know Stars fans probably don't want to hear this. I want to give the Minnesota Wild penalty kill some credit here because they gave up the first. 42 seconds. The Stars scored on their opening power play, and you went. If you're a Minnesota fan, you've got to go, oh, here we go again. It's happened in all 5 games. They've scored at least once on the power play. But after that first one, Luds, the Minnesota penalty kill it felt like they were more aggressive and they were waiting for that moment to jump and pressure and try to get them out of the rhythm. And
they're doing the same thing that they're doing on the forecheck.
Yeah.
And in the Stars defensive zone. They are not giving them time and space along because they know that they're the more time and space you give a good player, they make a better play. So they're basically saying, no, if you're going to beat us, we're going to make sure that it's on one of them plays where at least being aggressive, and it's paying off for him.
You asked me earlier if I noticed Sam Steele in the game. There was one moment where he set up a really good chance. He had a wrist shot from the right circle. Volstead made the save, and it kicked to a sharper angle, but really close to the side of the net for Radek Faksa. He had a great A. He was close to the net, tried to cram the rebound home, and Volstead made that save. So that was the one.
Yeah, so it seems like we're mentioning a lot of the third and fourth line guys. Now, name that I have it, and I said this to you, like number 49, we haven't heard his name enough. Haven't seen him enough either.
He's not.
He's not standing out for any reason.
And maybe that's because the assignment that he's got and who's
sometimes
playing against.
You definitely have to do that. But he can still, be that shift disturber.
He hasn't been disturbing enough shifts lately.
No.
Well, they get a goal. We thought there was going to be a problem because, let's carry it over to the other side because we still have a couple things to talk about. Ryan Hartman, Jamie Benn, and Jason Robertson all team up for a goal. Let's talk about it next here on the DLS Stars postgame show.
I don't even know where to go from here. I don't even know who to start with. I mean, can we just pull up the Robo shirt? We don't need two of them, do we? Can we just pull? There you go. Robo. Robo's just doing what Robo does. He's robotic. He just scores.
Well, there was a
go
time
get a
where
Robo shirt.
People didn't think he was a playoff performer.
Okay, so now let's pull up the finisher shirt. Okay, I prognosticated that he would get a 5-on-5 goal tonight. Not even close, I don't think. And we need more from Wyatt. Okay, I don't think Wyatt's been as visible as we've seen him in the regular season. So we got to get more from Wyatt. And then I'm trying to think of what I could pull up the hats, but let's just go with nothing else matters.
How about the captain?
Well, the captain. Now what we got to do is we got to put a little nick up here. Maybe we got to put a nick up
high
there in the
stick
shield.
mark.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the captain?
I do want to talk about the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we do,
wait, is it bad? Bad?
Maybe. Let's show the Nothing Else Matters shirt and then talk about being a diehard.
Yeah,
this is our playoff shirt. I think it's excellent. I have it. I need to wash it, and I'll wear it again. Maybe.
Listen, I got a bone to pick with Ben, I think. I washed it, and I did not put it in the dryer.
Yep.
I went to hang it up on a hanger, so you can hang. The damn thing, the hanger was too small. Like the neck is like this big. I don't know what happened.
What'd you do? Wear it inside out?
I didn't do anything. All I did is wear it, washed it, and I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I'm telling you.
Let's pull the Hulk Hogan to take it off.
No.
All right. So let's talk about being a diehard. You can get a shirt of your choice and a super deal. If you've never been a diehard before, we have a playoff offer for just $32 for your first year, and you get a free t-shirt of your choice, except for the Nothing Else Matters shirt. Everything else is on the table. You get access to all the writing. Maybe we'll see Sam sometime. I don't know. But RIP Sam. And scan the QR code. Well, that he loves it when we say that. Otherwise, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't like to. Sam, we hope you feel better. And you get a discount on all merch, access to the Die Hard Only Discord lounge. We have a lot of fun. Let's talk about the captain for a minute, because this moment that actually leads to a goal, but I thought it was going to end the Stars' chances of comeback tonight, because they're down 3-1, and it appears that Hartman caught Ben up in the face area with some part of his stick from the middle towards the back end of it, the butt end. I don't know if it was that or somewhere, but it looked like Jamie reacted that. Now, was he trying to draw one? I don't know.
A little bit?
I don't know.
Well, he was cut.
But then, that's right, there was a mark.
He was cut.
But then, Luds, I had flashes of 2023. Stars, by the way, beat the Wild in the first round.
Is this a Stone thing?
The Mark Stone Game 3 in Dallas in the conference final, and he lost it, got ejected, and suspended for a couple games. Stars went down 3-0, fought back to Game 6, and then got eliminated at the AAC in that one. This one wasn't penalized nearly as severely, but when he cross-checked Hartman in the arm, okay. Times. The second one got up a little high for me, and I thought that was going to be more than just 2-2.
Yeah, and the score is still 3-1.
It was still 3-1.
Yeah, and how much time would have been left there? When did Jamie get it? Were there 5-6 minutes to go in the game?
The penalty on Ben and Hartman were just over 5 minutes remaining, 5:12 to go.
Yeah, so you got to keep your composure there. I mean,
it looked like he lost his mind.
I mean, fortunately, it turns into a.
Well, the irony of is they get 2 minutes each.
Yep.
Stars are 4-on-4, which you were worried about because of Boldy, Kaprizov, Faber, Quinn Hughes. Like they're 4-on-4, but the Stars pulled Ottinger for an extra attacker, so it's even strength, but it's 5-on-4. And Jason Robertson scores for the 5th consecutive game. I know you'll break it down, but I just wanted to ask you quickly, it wasn't that long ago where people were questioning Robo's ability to be a playoff goal scorer. Oh, he can score in the regular season, but he's not suited for the playoff game. He can't get open. He doesn't score. He scored the last 3 games of the Edmonton series in the conference final last year, 5 straight this year. He seems like he's figured out a way to be a effective playoff scorer.
He's just carried it over from the regular season. I said, to me, Robo this year has been a different player. He's added more to that toolbox. He's not just a one-dimensional, get the puck and shoot it and score and not do the rest of things. I think he's back-check hard. I think he's gotten more physical. I mean, not hard being more physical than he was. At least he's getting engaged. You watch him get up on plays now. You watch him drive to the net. So, to me, he's been, whether it's a contract or not, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
He is, I don't know what more Jason Robertson can do right now and Jim Nill's got to be going.
To make an Olympic roster?
Maybe I should have signed him 3 months ago for whatever it may have been. But all I'm saying is he has been great. And again, regardless of how the games have gone, good or bad, if the temperature gets turned up, Robo just continues to do what he does. And especially on this goal. This goal really, what it does is it shows off what happens with special guys. Like, this is when Robo gets down here. Robo, and that yellow line, if you're watching this, that's the goal line I'm showing. So he's got nowhere to go with this. And when I say slows down, the game slows down for certain guys. And he has the ability to survey everything that's going on here. And he sees Jared Spurgeon laying in the crease. And he's like, well, I'm not getting it to Wyatt. Somebody here's got their stick in a lane. So he just takes it and decides to take a shot and bank it off the leg of Spurgeon, and it works. And, goes up and pops up in the air and goes in the net. So, but again, he just finds all different kinds of ways to score goals.
Miro Heiskanen picked up an assist, so he had a goal and assist in the game. And Mikko Rantanen, secondary assist. So he gets a point in a game, again, where you said you didn't
that would be what, his
enough.
5th point, I believe. What is that for him now? I think he's got a goal. And
number 6. Goal and 5 assists.
Are there how many are 5-on-5? Well, you don't have to look that up.
That would take me more than the time we have to look that up.
See, unfortunately, a lot of that stuff is on the power play.
Well, you say how much is that a 5-on-5? The Stars have only scored
3 goals.
That one counts as even strength, but not 5v5. So, Luds, that's at 16:39. That means they have 3 minutes and 21 seconds to try to tie the game, and there's belief. About a minute and 21 seconds later, actually exactly that, the belief dies with Kirill Kaprizov scoring an empty net goal, holding off Miro Heiskanen as they tried to tie the game.
And you watch Kaprizov when he plays, and even when he skates, he's got this big wide base on him. So you can tell. And if you've watched any of the things that he does in the offseason in the homeland with, I think that's where he is, but he's got his own course set up, and he's got all the big tractor tires and things like that. So powerful kid. And he got paid for it handsomely. But anyway, so and Miro wasn't happy. Miro had a great shot on that one too. He buried that one in the net, back of the net. But and that was it.
Well, with that, the Wild take a 3-2 series lead. Game 6 is going to be on Thursday night, April 30th. We don't know what time yet. I would imagine by the time we get home tonight, or whenever the Anaheim-Edmonton game ends and they decide or figure out who's playing on that day. And actually, it might benefit the Stars and Wild if Edmonton wins tonight and forces a game 6 in Anaheim. That could be the late game, and they could have 2 earlier games, including the Stars, because if the Ducks find a way to rally, they're down 4-1 right now, but we'll see. If they rally and close out the series, Stars are going to be the second window. That would be my guess. I'm not a TV executive. I don't know, but just a hunch. All right. We'll get into that more. We have a show tomorrow. We'll talk about all of that. So let's go to a lot of super chats.
Uh-oh.
So we'll be here until we get through them. So let's fire up that old bing bong and get them going here. We start with Luds' favorite, which feels like there's a drop in there somewhere, but with a Finger Blaster 911 with a Lundqvist and a Mario Lemieux. This team just doesn't show up at times.
You go, Finger Blaster. Game 1 was the example of that.
That one was not great. Meaty Hammer with a Lundqvist and Year After the Cup. Wild set the tone in game 1. Speaking of which, Wild are better in net, on the blue line, and at best equal the rest of the way. Better team won tonight. Weak AF. I love you.
Yeah. Is that what Illy is? I love you?
I love you, yeah.
Illy? Okay.
Yep.
Didn't Illy? Whatever the...
Hidalgo with a Ludwig. Send Luds into that locker room to put boot into ass.
I don't know if that'd help. I really don't. I should just take them out. And then they come back and they play guilty the next day. That always worked for us.
But they were experienced at playing guilty.
Yeah.
I don't think it would work with this group if they're not used to playing
I'll
guilty.
just take them to Whole Foods.
Oh, well, that'd be nice. Yeah. Too Far, 2304 with a Heiskanen 99 Cup year. Flaccid 5v5. Missed Nils. Good call to pull Otter 4v4. Rantanen invisible. Myers looked lost. Terrible turnover on the first goal. Shoot the puck. You said before, I don't know if that's a terrible turnover. Obviously, he's trying to make a long stretch pass.
Yeah, that was not.
You're not putting that on Myers?
He was trying to bank it off the wall, but again, obviously he doesn't play much pool or billiards because it was a poor angle to try to bank it off the wall. He was trying to get it out to Rantanen, who was on the other side of the blue line. So that's where I know I initially thought he was trying to make a pass to Harley too, but as hard as he shot it and he elevated like that, there's no way you can make that mistake that bad. So he was trying to get it out in the neutral zone.
Finger Buster with another one. This one is a Bischel and a Lemieux. I'm starting to think that Jim Nill is incapable of building a Stanley Cup champion. I have 13 years of 0 cups to back up my statement. Wow. A little upset.
You go, Finger Blaster.
Blue Titan 10 with a Madonna 99 Cup year. At what point do we address that the Stars' defense issues never truly gets resolved and we just throw duct tape at it, hoping it resolves itself? Maybe we should have targeted Hughes instead of Mikko.
I don't know if they could afford Hughes, but
I don't know if he was available back then either.
Well, I think when he made it public, everybody knew.
Well, this year, but at that point, they'd already spent a couple firsts in Stankoven on Rantanen, right? Nate G with a Hatcher in Year After the Cup. Petrovic is better than Myers. Can Cassidy make an adjustment? Wow. Wants a coaching change and a defense change.
Really?
Yeah.
Cassidy?
Cassidy was on the TNT broadcast tonight, or in the studio. I saw him for in between periods of the Boston Buffalo. I'd be curious. I bet he'd be pretty good as a broadcaster, sitting in the studio talking.
I saw him the other night somewhere too.
Did you?
So, well, they scoop all them guys up when they're...
Sure.
When they're give them more money and they're still getting paid.
Spit and Chicklets. This is from Nate G again with a Lundqvist in Year After the Cup. Spit and Chicklets calling Minnie out for their fans being lowest IQ in hockey is the biggest W of the series so far. That had to do with the puck over the glass appeals when Wyatt Johnson was at the offensive blue line.
That was Biz going off.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Blue Titan 10 with a DeSmith and a 99 Cup year. Remind me why we traded for Bunting. We're going to find out whether he's got anything most likely on
I read
Thursday.
his comments today from somewhere. So
yeah,
you can tell he's trying to take the high road,
there.
but he's saying he's putting it in the right way. I don't see, again, it's like anything else. You're in that situation. So I don't know what the reason would have been why he hasn't been in the lineup. So not that we'll ever know, but.
Cody with a Heiskanen 99 Cup year, 11 straight periods without a 5-on-5 goal. Atrocious, lazy play. Take the 99 jerseys off. They deserve to wear them. I'm confused about that.
Maybe the word "don't" should be in there.
They don't deserve to wear them.
Maybe.
Problem is that they are locked into wearing them. They made the choice. They have to stick with them. Blue Titan 10 with a Heiskanen 99 Cup year. Feels like we're looking for perfect shooting lanes and deferring so much. Many are scared to be the one to turn the puck over and take a bad shot. That's honestly, Luds, they've been looking for higher quality chances the entire season. That's nothing new.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
And again, but you have to be able to adjust. We talk about adjustments all the time, right? When teams you get things tighten up in the playoffs, and so you're going to have to direct some pucks at the net.
Evan Siegel with a Lundqvist in Year After the Cup. Stars' offensive plan tonight was hit it off the end wall and hope for a physics-defying deflection. Preston with a Heiskanen 99 Cup year. One, this feels early 2000s Stars all over again. That was post-Ludwig, by the way. Two, why did we switch coaches if we just have the same play style? Dump and chase, no skill through the middle. I want to bring that up real quickly, and maybe that's something you can show us tomorrow in a breakdown. There seemed many times when Dallas went through the neutral zone, Minnesota, and this is not just tonight, but it seemed like they were forcing puck carriers to the perimeter of the neutral zone. They were not allowing anything through the middle to gain any kind of traction and transition speed.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And they hold the red line.
Yep.
We showed that in that. When did we do that? After game 1 or 2?
But yeah,
they shrink all the zones. They shrink the ice. They're not afraid of Dallas's skills. So what they're going to do is they're going to take it away from them. So that's why their forecheck is up on the defenseman.
Yep.
That's why the neutral zone, there's a tight gap in the neutral zone, because they know that they've got guys, if you give them that time and space, they'll skate. And they're playing the way that Anaheim is now playing against Connor McDavid, where they just take him away.
Mm-hmm.
They are taking people away, and they're going to say, let's see if you can beat us.
Let's see. Grundle Gobbler with a Lundqvist and year after the cup. I remember in the Western Conference Final last year, Lud's talking about how they aren't getting bodies to the net for rebounds. Why is this still an issue 3 years later? Well, first of all, you just said last year, so the math ain't mathing, but the point is apt. I honestly think, Luds, that Dallas was better at creating chances tonight than they were in those last few games against the Oilers.
Yeah, but creating chances, you got to stay. You got to be there.
That's
you got to
right.
remember we showed a couple piles, and there was one the other night. There was 3 guys, but they have to hang around the front.
Yes.
They got to get an ugly goal, and there were a couple times tonight, but there's
Just
a couple
didn't go in.
times, but it's just not enough.
There were a couple where it was very, very close, but close doesn't give you a goal. Jay with a Bischel and a Ludwig. Nice United Heroes League jersey, Luds. Wish I saw you at the Warrior Nationals, which was my first tournament. So Jay appreciates your jersey.
Well, thank you.
Finger Blaster with a 888. Obviously, we go with the Eric Lindros when it's 88. One team wants it more, all caps. Still mad. Okay.
Yep.
Vent. The dude is cooked. Got to play the drop.
The dude is cooked right now.
Thank you, Sean. With a Robertson, or a Robo if you prefer. Like Luds, I really don't understand why they are not crashing the net, giving this rookie the business. They need more 1% in Game 6. I can hear Bill Guerin texting Robo. Nice series, kid. Have a great summer. Come on, guys. Yeah, well, maybe. Turks with a Heiskanen 99 Cup here. I think it's important to take a moment to think about Jim Nill's trade deadline performance this year. Worst he's had in this organization.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about, Myers and Bunting.
That's what we're talking about.
One's not in the lineup, and the other one is. But I don't know how much they really had to offer. I think I believe that they were happy with their team. I think
so.
they believe in the team. And
Well,
what you're trying to do is you're trying to add some depth, I think, is what they were originally trying to do.
Doesn't help that Rope Hintz got hurt against Nathan McKinnon. That's a big loss. Doesn't help that Nils Lundqvist got kicked in the face. It was a while ago, and obviously the trade deadline was well after it, but the Tyler Seguin injury definitely unbalanced things for a long time. Stars still won lots of games, but yeah, those are tough. Let's see. Virga Wolf with a Hatcher in year after the cup. We got 57-6 on a line, yet no open ice hits.
That's fair. Yeah.
And then Mason Phillips, I believe this is the last one, with a Hatcher year after the cup. Luds, show this team how to throw elbows.
I wish you could. No, you can't. I mean, Myers can on Zuccarello.
Yeah.
It worked for a couple games. Actually, he didn't even throw it.
Is that those things just don't work like they did maybe 25 years
they
ago
catch
or
you
so.
now.
Yeah, they used to support destroying players over the middle. Now it's typically frowned upon. All right, Luds. No practice tomorrow. No surprise there. They're going to meet at the airport for media availability, and off they go to Minnesota. We have a show tomorrow. It's at 2:00. We'll spend a lot more time.
Think Sam will meet him at the airport?
You think Sam will be here tomorrow? Yeah.
Don't know.
Who can say? But I think tomorrow's obviously the big topic. We can talk a little bit more about tonight's game if there's stuff that you want to get to, or maybe some coach and player reaction, because nothing else matters. They have to win Game 6. Otherwise, their season ends abruptly and way too short for what everybody's expectations are. We were talking about going into the playoffs that expectations might be it's a failure if they don't reach the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
Well, right now, they've got to go win a game so they at least get a chance at a Game 7 to get out of the first round.
Yeah, and the other thing with the team that's waiting, now you weigh down. The only way Dallas can get to play Colorado is they're going to have to play 2 days later after they finish that Game 7. Again,
at this point, they would welcome it.
Of course, yeah. But I mean, everybody expected this thing to go 7. So let's see if it does.
I thought this would be a 7-game series, but they've got to find a way to win. And now, look, we'll talk about this more tomorrow. Game 3, double overtime they won. Game 4, they lost in overtime. They were right there for both of those road games. This one was fairly close too, but this is by no means cooked, right? They can still win this game on Thursday. We'll find out the time later. We'll let you know. It's possible, but the pressure is all on the Dallas Stars here. Minnesota Wild have not had a 3-2 series lead in the playoffs since 2015. So they're in uncharted waters for this group, but they will have to be feeling very confident.
If you're putting your pot roast on low in your cooker, that's about an 6 to 8 hour thing, right?
I like a good pot roast.
You're probably on hour 6.5, 7.
You're getting close to being cooked.
Yeah, you're getting there. You're getting ready where it could be eaten.
You're starting to smell.
It smells awesome.
Yeah.
But it doesn't smell, To Minnesota, it smells awesome.
Yeah.
We got to wrap this up. Ryan's arm's going to fall off. Oh.
We got one more super chat. GM Ben trying to keep us alive. We ain't dead yet with a
Wait a second.
DeSmith and 99 Cup year.
Okay. I'm going to send you a picture, Ben. I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Ben, I might know what I'm going to do now.
Ben is channeling his plague victim Monty Python, saying, I'm getting better. I'm not dead. We'll see what happens. But tomorrow, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock, we'll be live here. It'll be Luds, me, Ryan, and who can say? We'll find out. Live at 2 o'clock.
We need another sticker on this helmet.
We need more than one. We need a couple more. But hey, we'll see you then. For Ryan, Luds, I'm Owen. Thanks for joining us. We will be back tomorrow on DLLS. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and sign up to be a diehard. And say hi to GM Ben. He's not dead yet.
We're not going home!
We all silly like the mayor.